Neal. And Malachek touches in a time of 52.92, a new high school national record. Back to back to back to back state champions. NET Sports is live from the Bob Devaney Sports Center in Lincoln, Nebraska. As this evening we have the Class B State Championship Showdown. The top-ranked Skutt Catholic Skyhawks take on the 35-2 and second-ranked Gretna Dragons. And hello again, everybody. I'm Larry Putney along with Kathy Wieskamp. Great to have you with us. Gretna and Skutt, two teams who have not won a state championship, both looking for the school's first. Somebody will get the school's first tonight.
That's exciting for both these teams. Yeah. Gretna has been here 9 times. They were in the finals in 2012, but lost to Grand Island Northwest. Last year, Grand Island Northwest knocked them out. They upset, or beat them last night, not upset, but beat them last night to get themselves into the finals. So they're saying, we're free. We've beat the nemesis at state.
Renee Saunders, a familiar name in Nebraska high school circles. Volleyball also played at Nebraska. Her team looking for its first title.
You know, they were runners-up in 2014 to Norse, and so they're back here with some unfinished business. A very young but very talented team. They would like nothing more than have the opportunity to claim that state championship with this young group of strong players. Time
now to hear from the third member of our broadcast crew. Let's go to Bailey Neal. First, let's check the map. Both of these teams obviously from the Omaha area, Omaha Skutt and the Gretna Dragons. They will square out for the state title. Gretna coming in at 35-2, Skutt 39-2. How did they get here? Well, Gretna knocked off Elkhorn and Northwest. Omaha Skutt Catholic with a couple of sweeps to make it here to the state championship. Now to the third member of our crew. Here's Bailey Neal. Bailey.
Hey guys, it's definitely a full crowd down here, a full house, and as you mentioned, there is some unfinished business. We've seen a few signs with that out there, and that's because both of these teams have played each other twice this season, and each team has won one time, and now it's going to all come down to this, the C1 or the B state championship for the Gretna Dragons and the Skutt Catholic Skyhawks. It's sure to be a good one. The crowd is definitely pumped up.
It is the rubber match, and we'll have it when we come back on NET Sports.
Whether it's spring planting, fall harvesting, or just a drive across the state, soy biodiesel helps a diesel-powered engine operate in a demanding job. Soybean oil from Nebraska soybeans makes biodiesel a renewable fuel that's also environmentally responsible. The soybean checkoff plays a major role in supporting the use and availability of biodiesel. The Nebraska Soybean Board, growing opportunity from the ground up.
Everyone's walking a path, and most paths are best walked together. Because when we travel together, our lives are livelier, our journey more enjoyable, and the places we'll discover will be simply spectacular. To be in a place like no other that unites you all in a state of wonder. Wouldn't that be nice?
High school's almost over. Now what? I wish I knew what to do, or even what I can do. I know I want something more. Something I can be proud of. So, how do I get there?
Take the next step with Education Quest College Planning Services by visiting educationquest.org.
Live streaming for the NSAA High School Volleyball Championships is also available at the NET website and on the free NET Nebraska app.
Coverage of the 2015 NSAA High School Volleyball Championships on NET is made possible in part by the Nebraska Soybean Board, Education Quest, the Nebraska Public Power District, the Nebraska Tourism Commission, the Aurora Cooperative, and by Constellation. A big thank you to all of our sponsors who help us bring you the best high school athletes from across the state. We couldn't do it without your support. Back at the Bob Devaney Sports Center, getting set for the Class B State Championship, and for the introductions, let's go down to Steve Lemon.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Bob Devaney Sports Center and the 2015 Nebraska School Activities Association Volleyball Championships. The Class B final features the Omaha Skutt Catholic Skyhawks and the Gretna Dragons. The NSAA is proud to recognize our corporate partners for their outstanding support of NSAA student programs. U.S. Bank, Farmers Mutual Insurance, Nebraska Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, CHI Health St. Elizabeth, Pump and Pantry, and the Midwest Dairy Council. Now, let's meet the teams. Here are the Omaha Skutt Catholic Skyhawks. Non-starters are number 1, Jessica Schlottman. Number 4, Delaney Saucier. Number 5, Brooklyn Darren. Number 8, Megan Sutera. Number 12, Taylor O'Malley. Number 17, Nikki White. And number 20, Emma Altman. The starters are number 13, Brooke Haney. Number 14, Lily Haney. Number 15, Alyssa Woodman. Number 21, Sydney Arkfeld. Number 23, Allison Shomers. Number 27, McKenna Kirkpatrick. And number 28, Brooke Swain. The assistant coaches are Ramey Seek, Jenna Schlottman, John Salerno, Amanda Franciscato, and Adam Ibarra. The head coach is Renee Saunders. Here are the Gretna Dragons. Non-starters are number 1, Bailey Shear. Number 3, Kylie Tremmel. Number 4, Hannah Brandon. Number 6, Cameron Schuler. Number 7, Taylor Atkins. Number 10, Cassidy Ottoman. And number 15, Carson Opfer. The starters are number 2, Cameron Scott. Number 5, Amanda Young. Number 8, Mallory Yost. Number 11, Haley McCardle. Number 12, Jasa Russell. Number 13, Lauren Leapley. And number 14, Jaden Sila. The assistant coaches are Bridget Root, Sarah Ritzdorf, Sarah Crosgrove, and Ashley Gross. The head coach is Mike Brandon. Today's officials are Sheila Pleskotch and Alex Wassam. The bench official is Tim Salmon. Our line judges are Tanya Lee and Marcy Welch. And now, let's play volleyball.
It's all ready to go here in the Class B State Championship. The handshake at the net, and these two teams get ready to square off for the 3rd time this year. Each team owns 1 win over the other team, so it should be a terrific one. Skutt Catholic taking on the Gretna Dragons, number 1 versus number 2, 35-2 versus 39-2. Very similar teams.
Two teams, again, as you said, very similar, very balanced, using a lot of attackers, and I think we're in for another good one.
There you saw Mike Brandon breaking the huddle with his Gretna Dragons. Mike Brandon has been the head coach at Gretna in his 15th season now. Career record 277, 158. Very well-respected and well-liked coach in the coaching circles is Mike Brandon. Taking on the Skutt Catholic Skyhawks, and another well-respected and well-known coach in Renee Saunders. In her 5th season with Skutt, spent some time at Omaha South prior to that. got a good one coming your way. Gretna and Skutt. Two Class B powerhouses who've had such a hard time breaking through the clutter of the other great Class B schools over the last few years. The Norrises and Northwests and highest tenths, and they've always been kind of right there, but haven't been able to make that breakthrough, and one of those teams gets the breakthrough here tonight. Gretna taking on Skutt. Gretna, just so you know at home, Gretna is on the left side of your screen. Skutt is on the right side of your screen. So we have two teams wearing white long sleeve uniforms with dark letters and dark shorts, black shorts. So just to tell you now, if we misidentify a name or two, we apologize.
We're going to work hard and do our best, but they're both green as well, so their complementary colors also aren't going to help us any. So we're going to have to be on our A game here, Larry.
All right. Skutt here now to serve. Push over. Sila there did not go. Set the back row, swing by Haley McCardle, who had a terrific match earlier. McCardle has had 17 and 25 kills, and there's McCardle again with all that power. 5'9", senior outside, comes right down the middle, and McCardle will be playing at the next level next year.
Yes, she's going on to Wyoming, and so she just is quick, gets up, has great elevation. Again, that arm swing, I want you to watch how fast that arm comes through. Before she's landed, it's already down by her side.
Pushed outside to Brooke Haney, and Haney is block point to Gretna. So now back to serve for the Dragons is Cameron Scott. Cameron, 5'5", junior setter. Better than 1,000 assists this year, and just a tenacious setter for the Dragons. What's that mean, a tenacious setter? It means you want to get to every ball, you want to get your hand on every ball, you work your tail off to get the ball in the right position and better every ball you touch.
And how fun is it to have a player like that on your team?
Mike Brandon said that last night. She is tenacious. There is Mike Brandon in his 15th season. Dad Hugh was a long-time, well-respected coach at Shadwell Assumption, no longer around, and also at Hay Springs. McCardle with another kill there. 3-3 here early on. So back to serve, Haley McCardle. Swing from the right side of the kill by Lauren Leapley, 5'11", junior right side. There's Renee Saunders. Renee Saunders in her 5th season at Omaha Skutt. Prior to that, she was at Omaha South.
And earlier, again, a former Nebraska player, played volleyball, and then went and played basketball for Nebraska also. So
she did, that's right, her senior season.
Senior season, after the volleyball was completed.
Kind of an O-string, right?
Yep.
Serve, there's a touch, so that will be a point to Gretna, and the Dragons extend that lead to 5-3. One more look. Yep, there's the touch.
Yep. Russell just doing a nice job going high hand there with two big blockers in front.
Block off the swing of Kirkpatrick. Tried the touch, did not get there, and Skutt with the point. Yeah, you mentioned Renee Saunders played at Nebraska, part of that 95 national championship team. And in 95, prior to that national championship team, Renee Saunders said her team watched a video, a pump-up video, all the highlights throughout the season, to Feel It in the Air tonight, by Phil Collins, the Phil Collins song. So what did she do before this match tonight?
Feel it in the air. Awesome.
She put together a video for her team, Feel It in the Air by Phil Collins, to all of their season highlights.
Recreate the magic. And the girls probably go, what was the song?
That's right, yeah. We all remember it.
Yeah, they just got hooked into the videos.
Been waiting for this moment for all of my life, right?
Yep, yep.
Swing and a kill by Leapley.
This nice quick transition there. Leapley coming in that quick right behind the setter. Or excuse me, right in front of the setter.
Over the net called on Gretna, so a point for the Skyhawks. Now into the game, and to serve is Jess Schlottman. Schlottman, a 5'4" junior defensive specialist. Plays volleyball for Skutt, but she's a D1 recruit in both soccer and volleyball. Here's Schlottman. Good pass there from Schlottman, pushed outside. Good aggressive swing, but knocked down by Alyssa Woodman. Going to the middle. Haney couldn't get it down, and boy, what a terrific addition Haney has been to this team this year. And the swing from outside and the kill by Haney. Brooke Haney with the kill. Brooks a 5'9" junior outside. Lily Haney is a 5'11" freshman middle.
So we got lots of Haneys out on the court. Brooke is a K-State commit.
Right.
So she will continue her career after high school. Just a junior. So K-State will have to wait a little bit.
Back to Alyssa Woodman again for the swing. It's sent back off the block. Nope, they say it did not hit the block. Hit the net and back, so 4 touches called on Skutt Catholic.
Good. Yep, great call. You can see, then cross that tape.
Jump serve by Taylor Atkins. On the slide, that's Lily Haney. Out of the back row, McCardle with the big swing. Not there. Haney again powers through. Checked out Woodman. That's Alyssa Woodman with the kill.
Woodman really just busts the seam apart of that block, goes right at that gap, that right between them, knocks her through. A lot of power.
At the back row is McCardle, not there. Push to the outside. That's the swing from Brooke Haney is wide. Now back to serve Jasa Russell. Top of the block. And the kill by McCardle.
McCardle is just one of those players that just every match, she's just going hard for you, works hard. She can unleash too. She's got a lot of power on the ball, a lot of velocity.
Pounded down the line by Brooke Haney. And Brooke Haney picks up the kill.
Haney reads the block. You can see how much line they gave her. She takes it and turns it hard down that line.
Bump set into the back row. The swing is wide from Russell. And a point for Skutt. So now we are at 10-9. Gretna on top. Good quick tempo, nice coverage, kept it alive. Free ball coming up for the Skyhawks. On the slide. Kirkpatrick can't get it down. Once again, Haney with the kill, Brooke Haney.
Haney doing just what she has done all season, just is outside, works hard to get off the net, and is aggressive with that swing.
Haney repositioned the headband, got it back on in time, and killed the overpass.
Do whatever
she chuckles about it.
Yeah.
That headband was off the back of her head when that serve came. 4-0 run right now for the Skyhawks. Now all even at 11. Into the game to serve for Gretna is Carson Upfer. Haney again, got another one. So many options up front for the Skyhawks.
And she's got 8 kills already. She had 300, just shy of 350 on the regular season. So she knows how to get it done. She's hitting 455 right now.
Into the net called on the Skyhawks.
Really Kirkpatrick, as she's trying to bust out to the outside.
And the ace. Cameron Skutt with the ace. Junior setter came into the state with 37 aces on the season. Out of the back row, rolled shot, knocked down by Russell. Haney goes from one side to the other.
Great up there by Skutt.
And into the net, point for Skutt.
Into the Skyhawks, Alyssa Woodman.
13 all. Skutt pushes out right down the middle, and the kill by McCardle. Not a bad option at any time as McCardle.
No, and they utilize her different places. You saw there, they brought her in from the pin, brought her inside, right kind of behind the quick attacker in that 3 zone.
Chalmers pushes it outside. That time Alyssa Woodman couldn't get it down. Back out to Woodman again, but 2 hits called on the set, and that will give the point to Gretna, and Gretna opens up a 2-point lead at 15-13. First time these two teams played, it was won by Gretna, but Skutt setter Allie Chalmers was out with an ankle injury. Talking to the Skutt players last night, felt like they had something to prove the second time around when they played and swept Gretna. Chalmers was back, the entire team was together, they were clicking at the time, and they swept Gretna.
And that's, you know, these teams have seen each other in different circumstances.
Right.
And so today everybody's fully healthy. We're in the championships, trying to get the first state championship for your school. So everything means a lot today.
Chase down, kept alive. Oh, and the bump set kill. Just kind of bumping it over. Everybody thought everybody else had it on the Gretna side, and the point falls, and we're even at 15. One more look.
Just great job there. Haney chasing that ball down. Just a nice shot over top. You can see Gretna had transitioned off to already start their offense. Got to pass the ball first.
Big swing on the outside by
Haney.
Jaden Silo.
Save, run all the way to our cameraman.
Skutt this time in the middle, little tip try, good coverage. Outside, aggressive swing off the block, but down, so the block comes up big, and Gretna back with the lead.
Silo worked really hard to get to the outside, and I think she got most of the ball on that block.
Out of the back row, aggressive attack by McCardle. A little quicker tempo there, but good coverage by Chalmers. Kept alive by Haney. And then Woodard pounds it away, and Woodman with the kill.
Woodman just really does a great job. That gets in there quick. The fast tempo, again, driving that ball hard down the line. Look at the block, giving her that space. She takes it.
Back and forth here in set number 1, as you might expect. Block at the net. Double block. Mallory Yost is there along with Leapley. Leapley got a hand on that, it looked like. Yep, outside hand.
Two of them doing a great job working together, closing, going up. A lot of communication part of blocking. Just a tough ball there. Wasn't anything that Woodman could do.
Timeout called by Renee Saunders, down 18-16 here in set number 1. Let's take a look at last year's Class B state championship match in this flashback. The underdog Norris Titans were looking to stage the upset against top-ranked Omaha Skutt for bragging rights in Class B volleyball. While the Skyhawks from Omaha Skutt were riding a 29-match winning streak, the Titans came into the game the defending state champs and hungry for more. A burst of points at the end of set 1 lifted Norris 25-23 over the Skyhawks. Number 1 Omaha Skutt responded by taking care of business in the next set, but could not overcome a left side attack from the Titans, along with 10 unforced errors in the third. Norris would battle back from 2 fourth set deficits to win the match on an ace served up on match point. Norris Titans win their second straight state title and third overall. And that's why Renee Saunders' team wanted so badly to get back here to this point this year and, as they said, complete the unfinished business.
And so far, they've been very disciplined in that process and got them back here. They've really made a pretty easy sweep here through to this final match. This is the one, though. Great turn.
Got the touch.
Yeah, great turn of the body there by Sila. And yep, just catches a touch on its way out of bounds.
Mallory Yost in the middle with the kill. (19-17) Gretna. Pushed outside, off the block, kept alive. Good reaction by Scott. Outside again, Haney.
Great defense reacting.
Wow. Gretna doing a really nice job of getting hands on everything. Keep it alive and let the defense react. Haney again powers away, and that time Scott could not close the block. Tooled it, and the kill for Haney.
And Haney going up against Scott, who's 5'5".
Right.
You know, that mismatch at the block, working over the top or off the hands.
Good quick tempo ball, and the kill by Mallory Yost.
Yost does a nice job getting her hand high, getting her hand on the ball, just popping it in there.
Yost will take a seat. Into the game now to serve as Carson Opfer. Off the top of the tape. Run the slide. Kirkpatrick doesn't get it down. Pushed outside to Haney off the top of the block. That time Scott got a hand on it. McCardle couldn't finish. Haney will try again. Found the open floor. Good decision by Brooke Haney.
She just has great vision of the court, sees what's in front of her, makes decisions accordingly. You know, the block stayed inside. You can see the off blocker coming all the way across, leaving that far sideline.
Aggressive swing by McCardle. McCardle yesterday, 25 kills in the semifinals.
And here you can see why she can rack up those stats. She's just a very dynamic attacker.
Just in off the block.
Here you get a chance to see again the blocks there, and it just misses wide. Excuse me, lands inside, excuse me.
Should have been, your perspective might have changed depending on what eye you had open.
Yeah.
Was it there or there? Was that close?
Yep.
Aiden Sila, 6 kills yesterday, and gets the kill there. So the second timeout called by Skutt. They've used both of their timeouts now here in set number 1. 22-20, Gretna's on top. Coverage of the 2015 NSAA High School Volleyball Championships on NET is made possible in part by the Nebraska Soybean Board, Education Quest, the Nebraska Public Power District, the Nebraska Tourism Commission, the Aurora Cooperative, and by Constellation. A big thank you to all of our sponsors who help us bring you the best high school athletes from across the state. We couldn't do it without your support. So back at the Bob Devaney Sports Center, along with Kathy Wieskamp, I'm Larry Putney. Bailey Neal doing your post-game interviews and reporting from the court. As we are in the Class B State Championship set number 1, Gretna on top here 22-20, leading the number 1 ranked Skyhawks. There's Mike Brandon. Second trip to the finals for Mike Brandon.
2012, I believe, was the last time. So
lost to Grand Island Northwest. Big shot there, powering through that block. Kirkpatrick gets the kill. Her first kill in 5 attempts.
really just splits the hands of the blocker there, but just you see both these teams really trying to push tempo, run that fast tempo ball.
Outside McCardle, tried deep corner. Haney keeps it alive, and there'll be a free ball now for the Dragons. Dragons run that quick. Miscommunication there. Yeah, no touch there by Woodman, who just hammers it.
Definitely strong power attack on the outside there. Woodman, 317 kills coming into this tournament.
And that evens it at 22, and a timeout now called by Mike Brandon. So Skutt Catholic came in at 39-2 on the year. And Woodman has 4 kills in the match for Omaha Skutt. Here's a look at Woodman's swings. She's had 15 attacks, 4 kills. Not afraid to go line there. That was impressive. And another kill there to make it 22 all. And her battery mate with 9 kills, Brooke Haney.
Yep, no relief there in the rotations. Both outsides really strong, powerful attackers.
So here's McKenna Kirkpatrick, the 6'1" junior middle who had 7 kills in the first round match. Good coverage, good reaction by Woodman to keep that alive.
turn there by Lily Haney. Popping that quick attack in the middle, turning it back to the right side.
And Lily came in this year as a freshman as an outside hitter. Transitioned to middle and has been exceedingly valuable to this Skyhawks team.
She just really adds another strong attacker in that rotation.
Into the net. So here in crucial moments, you want to make big plays, and Mike Brandon will take a timeout as Skutt has gone back-to-back with points to give them set point number 1. And a timeout called by the Dragons. Brooke Haney has been on fire here in set number 1. A total of 9 kills, hitting .370. With all kinds of shots, too.
Yeah, I was just going to say, she's really mixed it up. She's got a lot of power. You know, you think of her as a power hitter, but she's a smart hitter. She places it, reads the defense. I would say she reads the situation so well. That allows her to be so much more effective.
Skutt breaks huddle after their conversation with Renee Saunders, and now the Dragons do the same after chatting with Mike Brandon. Set point number 1 for Skutt Catholic, top-ranked team in the state in Class B. Looking to go up 1-0. Back to serve for Skutt, McKenna Kirkpatrick. Scott sets back row. McCardle is blocked, kept alive. Forced a bump set. They'll set McCardle again out of the back row. Good up there. Kept alive. McCardle again. Third time's a charm on that point for McCardle.
And she's in the back row, and boy, is she just as effective from behind the 10-foot line.
Yeah, you get a sense they're going to find McCardle the ball at this key point, regardless where she is. And now set point number 2 for Skutt. Outside swing and the kill. Woodman delivers on set point. So Skutt Catholic takes set number 1 here in this Class B state championship. Lots of volleyball left. Come back right here on NET.
When you've been around for more than a century, you understand the power of generations, the value of nurturing and developing those who will carry on the legacy of agriculture and food production. That's why the Aurora Cooperative helps young people gain the experience, expertise, and wisdom to feed the world, be good stewards, become responsible community leaders, and continue setting the example for the generations that follow. The Aurora Cooperative, growing opportunities.
Constellation believes in developing the next generation of Nebraska leaders, and we show that support by contributing to 4-H and FFA in the 60 Nebraska counties we serve. More than $78,000 over the past 3 years alone. Constellation provides natural gas for Nebraska homes, farms, ranches, and businesses. Through our support for 4-H and FFA, we're providing energy for Nebraska's future as well. Natural gas from Constellation.
Participating in Nebraska high school activities has taught me about teamwork.
I've learned how to lead among my peers.
At my high school, I have set goals and I work hard to accomplish them.
I like to run on my cross country team. It makes me feel good about myself.
The Nebraska School Activities Association providing opportunities in 25 activities in our 303 high schools. NSAA activities, the other half of education.
Over the years, the Nebraska Chiropractic Physicians Association has supported many Nebraska athletes by helping them excel physically. But the mental game is just as important. That's why we're pleased to sponsor the NSAA Academic All-State Award Program, recognizing students and athletes who shine in the classroom and as leaders. We're proud to team up with these exceptional individuals. Together we can continue to make Nebraska a great place to live, learn, and play.
Coverage of the 2015 NSAA High School Volleyball Championships on NET is made possible in part by the Nebraska Soybean Board, Education Quest, the Nebraska Public Power District, the Nebraska Tourism Commission, the Aurora Cooperative, and by Constellation. A big thank you to all of our sponsors who help us bring you the best high school athletes from across the state. We couldn't do it without your support. Back at the Bob Devaney Sports Center, Class B state championships, Skutt and Gretna. Skutt takes set number 1, 25-23. Gretna was in control. They had a 22-20 lead, 3 away, and it was Skutt that went on the run.
I believe a 4-0 run there to get.
Right. 4-zip for the Skyhawks to take the first set. Quick check of the rotations. Players back on the floor, ready to go here for set number 2. The Skyhawks will serve to check that. Gretna will serve to start it off. Cameron Scott back to serve. On the slide, Kirkpatrick gets the kill. Back to serve now for Skutt is Allie Shomers. Shomers, junior setter. Mentioned she had that ankle sprain the first time these two teams played and did not play in that match. She is a recruit of the University of Missouri, Kansas City, so Shomers will be playing at UMKC next year.
Well, and your setter's out, you know, that's like your quarterback being out. And so I'm sure they're glad that was a short term.
Right. Touch in the middle, good cover there. Push back outside.
Just a great ball outside.
Great set and nice swing by Haney. So Brooke Haney with another kill.
You get a chance to see again, just firing that ball down the line, but you got to credit, that was a beautiful set to the outside.
And the service error then by the Skyhawks. Amanda Young now back to serve. Amanda, 5'8", senior libero for the Dragons. Amanda also played on that runner-up team back in 2012. She's headed to Colorado State next year.
And Kirkpatrick had to do some acrobatic moves to get out of the way. That ball came back quick. Look, big swing off the hand. She's doing that back bend, get out of the way. Do what you gotta do. Good flexibility.
Another service error, back-to-back service errors for Skutt.
And Jason Russell does a nice job, just what you want to do. Walk, get that foot on that outside line and know where you're at and be able to make those calls.
Back line of the kill by Alyssa Woodman.
Woodman, I believe that's her 7th kill, so doing a tremendous job on the outside.
Woodman will play next year, collegiate volleyball. She's headed to Rockhurst. Also Kansas City, correct? Just long. Taylor Atkins stood there and watched it drop just beyond the line. Jess Schlottman thought she had it in there. Outside, good aggressive swing, no touch, it is long. So Woodman with the hitting error.
Just to see good communication back to her setter, communicating where I'm at, what I need. Just getting hittable balls to your hitters is critical. Nice aggressive.
And that'll be 4 hits, 4 touches. Nikki White now serving, 5'4" junior DS.
Get some action right away.
Just long from Haney. A back and forth battle here once again. We've seen this for a couple of matches in a row. A lot of side outs, teams going back and forth. Not too many runs.
Nope.
Lift called, so once again, the side out. 2 hits.
Came right back at Sila, and as she transitioned off right kind of at her, couldn't get a good clean contact.
On the slide. Swain's there. Haney took an aggressive pass. McCardle pounds away and it gets sent back. Out of the back row.
Right up.
Russell nearly had it down. And there's a bit long. And the point for the Dragons.
Just perseverance here by both teams. Being aggressive. They're working hard to get an attack off in every situation.
You talk a lot about those long rallies and extended points and staying within your system and staying in position and not getting rattled. And it seems like this is one of those where they're going to have some extended rallies, and it's extremely important to do that.
Yep, absolutely. Just maintaining your focus. Woodman again.
They have sided out the last 6 or 7 points now, back and forth.
McCardle again, coming in the middle this time. They bring her in, and she delivers.
Serve wide, 8-8. Brandon saying, haven't we sided out like 8 times in a row? Coach, you have. That's exactly right. Saunders having a chuckle there with Brooke Haney. I think they were checking rotation. Coach Brandon was really hoping to get his middles very involved here tonight. They're trying to feed the middle a little more to open up those pins, and thought that especially against Skutt that would be important. Killed by Haley McCardle. May not be a middle, but it's out of the middle, right?
That's exactly right. Works off the edges, goes right here, right around the big block in front of her. But as you mentioned, again, by getting middles active and involved, it makes those middle blockers hang a little bit tighter in the middle of the court before they release to the outside.
So that really opens up the pins then for the opposing team?
Yep, that block isn't as tight in there, and they can't release as quickly, so you get a lot of split blocks and holes or one-on-ones.
And a kill there by Alyssa Woodman.
9th kill for Woodman. Just continues to work hard on that outside. She's got a nice high contact point too, making some nice shots.
Brooke Haney led the Skyhawks with 350-plus kills coming into this weekend. But not far behind was Woodman, who had 334. Woodman and Haney have led the way this year. McCardle with the kill. McCardle clearly the leader for the Dragons this season, 432 kills on the year.
And really that go-to girl, whether she's in the front row or the back row.
Pushed outside, block late getting there. Good swing and a kill once again by Woodman.
Just a nice fast tempo ball to the outside again, beating the block. See that block, they're floating, they are not closed and sealing over. Just too fast to get in that good, strong block position.
Great effort to try to keep that alive by Schlotman, who chased after it, but
Mallory Yost, I believe, with the kill. As you said, trying to get middles involved, and here it's a nice opportunity to do that.
Up for back end, now to serve. Right down the line. Finds that hole and slips it through there on the swing by Brooke Haney.
Slips, fires that baby through there. There's some pace on that ball.
Right. Same swing the other side. That one from McCardle.
Back at ya. In two great outside here, battling back and forth. It's enjoyable to watch. Very talented players duking it out.
Great up. Kept alive by Amanda Young. And McCardle finishes it off.
Key there is Young popping that ball up.
Right. So Gretna on a bit of a run here. They take a 15-12 lead. Coach Saunders will take the timeout, talk it over with her team. They lead at 1-0. And McCardle has been on fire. She has 13 kills to lead all scorers here. McCardle from the middle.
And they really,
McCardle from the back.
Yep, they just utilize her wherever she's at. And she can get it done. Doesn't matter where. Pull her in again. They're pinching her inside.
Haley McCardle, 25 kills yesterday, 17 on Thursday, and on pace here today to match that with 13 through 1.5 sets. Hey, NSAA football championships are coming your way on Monday, November 23rd and 24th. Action from all 6 state championships will come to you from Memorial Stadium right here on NET Sports. For more information on game times, you can check us out on netnebraska.org/sports. Action begins on Monday the 23rd, 10:30 a.m. Just like today, we've brought you state high school championship action from 4 classes already. This is the 5th, Class A yet to come later tonight. All 6 classes in boys football championships, Monday and Tuesday. Silo with a nice touch there.
Silo just reading the block. They pinched in from the left side. That means that left front's open.
Good up that time by Scott. Oh, aggressive approach and pounded by McCardle.
Pounded is the exact descriptive word, I would say.
Every bit of that from McCardle.
She's just driving hard inside and they really lead her up. That ball was out of system. Everybody knew the ball was going there, and she still finds a way. Leapley a little wide there, didn't get off, and she's on her offhand side. So really chasing that ball in to try to get her hitting hand on it.
Allie Schomer's now back to serve. Junior setter is Schomer's. Right on that back low. They say it went long. Woo. All right, that was a good attack, a good swing.
Here, we'll see if we can see. Oh.
Hard to tell from there.
Yep, maybe. Wow.
And if at first you don't succeed, swing harder.
Or give it to McCarl. You know, I mean, she took off from behind that 10-foot line. Look where she lands.
Wow.
I mean, that's how much everything is coming forward and through that ball. That's why you see such velocity on it.
All of these swings possible just by great passing and staying in system. And see, here's what happens when you don't. Outside, Haney with another kill. Brooke Haney.
12 on the night. Just keeps the pressure on.
That one was long. And a quick timeout. Mike Brandon will take the timeout. He had an 18-14 lead. Skutt scored 2 in a row. Important game here to not fall behind 2 sets to none.
Yep, this is an important one, as you mentioned, for Gretna. Love to go into with a split.
Well, this coming week on Big Red Wrap-Up, we'll take a look back at the Rutgers game, and that's going to be on Tuesday night when Big Red Wrap-Up returns and looks at today's game against Rutgers, the Huskers' big win, and then looks ahead to the Iowa game on November 27th. Watch Nebraska's most interactive sports show. Big Red Wrap-Up, Tuesday night, 7 Central on NET. Another terrific crowd on hand here at the Bob Devaney Sports Center for this Class B state championship. Both Gretna and Skutt well represented. A great venue for these state championships to be played. Of course, they play the first round at various sites around Lincoln, including Pinnacle Bank Arena yesterday. All of the matches played at Pinnacle Bank. Great opportunity for you to attend and see all the matches, and then we get to come here. What a great looking venue that is. The Bob Devaney Sports Center, reconfigured 2 years ago to serve just the Nebraska volleyball team, as well as some other Olympic sports. Wrestling, I believe, uses the Devaney Sports Center, as well as gymnastics, but really built for volleyball.
And the state tournaments having the opportunity for these high school players to come and play on the same court the Huskers play, the Terry Pettit court. It's a great opportunity and pretty exciting.
Part of what continues to make high school volleyball so strong in the state of Nebraska.
You know, look around the banners here in the Bob Devaney, lining the upper tier here, and championship banners. It just, like you said, speaks to the state of Nebraska and the volleyball programs that we have here.
Russell with a good attack from the left side, got the first one, and then the tip for the kill. That's just good approach, good swing, pops right back up. She's alert and puts it down.
As you said, just really does a nice job getting back into that base position quickly so she's ready to respond to that ball.
Skutt had really done a nice job of coming back from 4 down and into the net, called on Gretna, so the point to Skutt, and we're tied again at 19. Here's a look at a former Husker, Bridget Root, who's on the bench and one of the assistant coaches for Gretna. Bridget was a setter at Nebraska from 2008 to 2011, and she too played in a state high school championship game for her father, Bill Root. Grand Island.
Oh,
wow, pounded straight in front of Haney, couldn't get it up. Yost with another kill.
And that's that middle attack, getting some action out of the middles, getting them involved in the offense. Mallory Yost, really one of those players who's really capable of doing a lot of damage in the middle.
Haney out of the back row, checked up with the tape, and then the other side with the big swing out of the back row from McCardle. Another kill, and it's a 2-point advantage now for Gretna.
And even if you know it's going to McCardle, you just have a hard time slowing her down.
Both teams with one timeout left, and both teams will likely use those at some point here. As Gretna serve is long, the service error makes it 21-20. So into the game now for Skutt is Jess Schlottman. She's in to serve, 5'4" junior DS. Two hits.
Yep. Just didn't get a clean contact on the ball. Rolled off the fingertips of Woodman.
Now the serve of Jasa Russell. Tip to the middle. Woodman, smart shot there. Saw it wide open, dumped it right in the donut. Nikki White will serve. Gretna on top 22-21 here in set two. Both of these first two have gone right down to the wire. Last set, set one, was tied at 22 apiece. Right along the net, and good coverage, good angle, took it away. Haney with the swing and a kill. So Brooke Haney once again.
Here she is, she comes with that power, slugs right at you.
22 all, we were in this position in game one.
Yep, and Haney just rotated up to the front just prior here, and so they've got her in several rotations across.
And so has McCardle.
You're right, both of them have their big guns up front.
Power on power here. Up for now, back to serve. Gretna up 23-22. Outside. Big swing by Haney, but a nice dig to keep it alive. They'll get another chance. Go right back to Haney again. Over the block. Good up. Upset McCardle. Rolls it over, and McCardle with a nifty little roll shot.
McCardle just gets that hand high, good contact on the ball, good control of the ball, and that tempo ball in front. Look at that topspin, dropping it in front of the defenders.
So back-to-back kills by McCardle. And it's 24-22 Gretna. This would be set point number one for Gretna, and the first set point Gretna has had in this match. There's a look at the Dragons. Mike Brandon, the head coach, counts one away from evening this at one. Good time to pick up a DVD copy of this state high school championship match between Skutt and Gretna. You can do that by purchasing one for $19.95 plus shipping and handling. To order, just call toll-free 800-868-1868 or visit netnebraska.org. Message from Mike Brandon. What was it, Kathy?
Finish it. One.
Oh, Mike's tied him.
Yeah, looking sharp.
Set point for Gretna. Yeah, that's where you're gonna go. Brooke Haney.
As a blocker, I'd be cheating to the outside. Making sure we got 2 up, at least try and just slow it down best we can.
So now the serve for the Skyhawks. Set point number 2 for Gretna. Need it here to even it at 1. McCardle sent back. They'll bump set it out to McCardle again. She has to come inside, rolls it over. A chance to even it. Haney got it. Big swing and back-to-back kills by Haney. And both teams going to their big-time players.
I was going to say big swing by big-time players. Took the words right out of my mouth.
Well, McCardle really didn't have much of a chance that second time because they were out of system, pulled her inside of the bump set. But both times that Skutt had the ball, passing was on point. Great set from
Schomer.
Schomer, thank you.
Yep.
Got it out to Haney for the kill. State High School Championship Volleyball right here on NET, bringing you all of the state championships. Don't forget, though, later this week, Husker Volleyball continues on NET on Wednesday, November 25th. The Fighting Illini come here to the Bob Devaney Sports Center to take on the Huskers, and we'll have that for you right here on NET. And they all say, yep, we're going to be there. Saw the thumbs up.
Yep. Pack the place.
They're all looking at themselves, the big screen. Do you think they realize they're also on TV doing that? They just think they're on the big screen.
I think they're probably just...
I think it'll never be seen again. Everybody, if you know those folks, buy a DVD.
Yep.
Keep it forever.
In your library.
That's right.
Show your friends.
So we're all even at 24 here. McCardle got it. Back corner, McCardle with an aggressive swing. On point was Cameron Skutt with the set.
They utilize her in that middle in this, let her work off the edges, toward the edges of the court.
Skutt now, set point number 2, tough serve, overpass. Kept alive, McCardle will get a chance. Check that, it wasn't McCardle, it was Silo with that last swing. Out of the back row, not there. Oh, what an out! Point. 2 hits called on Gretna. So set point number 2 for Gretna comes up short. So now back to even at 25. Did we expect anything different?
Not me.
Schomer's now to serve for the Skyhawks. With the kill. And now McCardle will rotate into the back row and she will serve. The attackers now for Gretna. Sila is up front. Along with Russell and Leapley. Haney's still right there. Good roll shot. Had him on their heels, but good recovery. Free ball. On the slide. Not there. Skutt, quick middle. Had it. Good job to keep that alive. Haney's takes an aggressive swing off the bump set. Like that. Joust at the net. Won by McKenna Kirkpatrick. Back to even at 26. 3 set points now. Missed by Gretna.
Fortunate there. Scott's okay. Looked a little scary there for a moment.
Skutt pushes it outside. Off the block and out. Russell with the kill. So now the 4th set point for the Dragons. In to serve is Amanda Young, senior libero. She has 33 aces on the season. Would love one here. Outside. Good aggressive swing. Kept alive. Free ball, but good job by Gretna. 2 hits.
Yep, Young came right back to her and soft hands there. 2-hit call.
So 4 set points missed by Gretna. Skutt now. Back to serve is McKenna Kirkpatrick. We're even at 27. Boy, good job to keep that alive.
Yep.
And then the block goes off of the hands, and Amanda Young, check that. The swing by, was it Duran with the swing? It was.
Yep.
Brooke Duran into the game on that right side and got the kill. So first time we've called Duran's number.
Playing big at a big time.
So now the first set point of set number 2 for Skutt. And they got it. The difference in set number 2, one team finished, the other didn't.
Yep.
What a disappointment there for the Dragons. They'll have to rebound quickly, missing an opportunity on 5 set points, and Skutt takes advantage of the one that it had. 2-zip, Skyhawks on top.
Whether it's spring planting, fall harvesting, or just a drive across the state, soy biodiesel helps a diesel-powered engine operate in a demanding job. Soybean oil from Nebraska soybeans makes biodiesel a renewable fuel that's also environmentally responsible. The soybean checkoff plays a major role in supporting the use and availability of biodiesel. The Nebraska Soybean Board, growing opportunity from the ground up.
All right, college visit number 2. Here we go. What?
College visit!
Learn more from Education Quest at govisitcollege.org.
The Aurora Cooperative is reshaping the agricultural landscape through world-class agronomy, innovative grain marketing, energy, and animal nutrition, with the vision and financial strength to not just anticipate change, but create it, driven by an unwavering commitment to the farmers and ranchers we serve, to their communities, and to the next generation of agricultural leaders. The Aurora Cooperative, growing opportunities.
Back at the Bob Devaney Sports Center, Skutt leading it 2-zip over Gretna, 25-23 in the first, and an exciting one just concluding 29-27 as Gretna had 5 opportunities to close it out. Could not get it done. Let's take a look at stats after 2 sets.
As you would imagine, pretty even all the way down the categories. The defensive play by Skutt, we've seen some big hits on both sides. Skutt's really keeping balls alive, which allows them to then translate those into swing and kills. As you see, they lead 39-31 in that category as well.
I believe it would have been 4 opportunities. They had opportunities at 24, 25, 26, and 27.
Right.
They ended up losing 29-27. So not 5, but 4 opportunities, and I'm sure that doesn't make Mike Brandon feel any better that it was 4 versus 5. But
yeah.
So we have the numbers correct.
So now Gretna under pressure here to push to stay alive.
Mallory Yost with the kill.
I believe that's a 5th kill for Mallory. She's hitting right at 400. So the middle, the attack has been effective. It's just about being in system and be able to utilize and disperse. But you got McCardle up front too. Sometimes it's going where it works.
Scott feeds McCardle, but right at the libero Brooke Swain, who's done a nice job tonight. Haven't called her number nearly enough, but she's been active and very effective back there. That's a net violation. Is the hand of Haney just brushed the top of the net. So now back to serve is Carson Opfer. Good up by Russell, got it right on point to Scott, and then blocked is McCardle. As the ball hangs up high, McKenna Kirkpatrick cleans it up.
Kirkpatrick just says, I'll finish this up, gets up big, takes a nice swing.
Mentioned earlier the challenge for both of these teams to kind of break through the traditional Class B powers, and both of these teams have done a nice job of breaking through at different points, but closing out the deal, finishing, you know, and winning that state championship has eluded both of these programs. Gretna has yet to win a state championship. They've been in the finals once. Skutt, of course, was in the final last year and came up short. You take a look at some of the teams over even the last, 6 to 7 years that have ended up winning it. Norris has won it back-to-back years, and those 2 years they beat Skutt and Elkhorn South, so you can put Elkhorn South on there as another team that's been
sitting on
at the very edge. Exactly. Northwest in 2012 beat this Gretna team, and then you had that run where it seemed like Northwest, Gross, or Pius was in it every year. You had Pius winning it in 11, Gross in 2010, Gross in 9, Pius in 8, 7, 6, Omaha Gross in 5, and so you just don't hear Gretna or Skutt kind of in that final mention of those 4 or 5 teams that were winning it for so many years in a row. But now finally these two teams have an opportunity to create maybe the start of their own legacy.
Well, we talked about it earlier, Kearney Catholic were sitting in that final game, and once they finally broke through and won that championship, it allowed them then to, again, get 4 in a row. Well, these teams are very likely that could happen for them as well.
Killed by McCardle.
McCardle, they just put her in the middle of the court because she has more court to swing at. Then she can go right and left. If they keep her on the outside, you're really pushing her, can kind of direct her. Here she has lots of options. Nice turn there. Haney, this is Lily this time, our freshman out on the court. Does a nice job again turning that off the edge of the block. She sees the blockers in front of her, so rotates across.
Back row, McCardle got it. Good set from Scott to McCardle.
Kill number 23
wow.
for McCardle. 23.
McCardle had 25 in that semifinal win.
So odds are we're going to surpass that. Yep. She's had already 54 swings at the ball.
Five. Gretna and Skutt here early on set number 3. Skutt leads it 2 sets to none. One of those powerhouse teams that we talked about that has seemed to be down here every year, competing for a state title every year. Northwest and Diana Rose, her team in it again in the semifinals this year. It was Gretna that knocked off Northwest after how many times has Northwest done that to Gretna over the years? And so asked Mike Brandon yesterday, when you knew that you had to face Northwest in that semifinal, what did you think? And he said, well, I didn't say anything to the girls because they don't know that, right? It's very new to them. But my first thought was, again.
Them again.
Here we go again, right?
So it had to feel good, and it was a great match between the two of them. But for Gretna to push through that and finish it.
Yeah, for so long, Northwest was that team that was in the final and couldn't win the state championship. between 2007, 8, 9, 10, and 11. Northwest was in it 5 consecutive years and didn't win any of those. And then finally in 2012, they were in it for the 6th straight year. And finally, Diana Rose was able to hoist that trophy for her Vikings.
And if I recall, they were up and the opponent came back.
Right. It was like,
here we go again.
Right.
And so when they finished, it was like, oh.
That was a 16-14 final. And so here there's all this pressure that's built up over 5 years for that Vikings team, and to have it go to a 5th and a 16-14, that just the elation after that win was pretty remarkable. Just long, but we did get a touch.
Yep.
So point to Gretna. I feel like we could probably come up with 3 or 4 other stories to talk about why these two teams exchanged side outs until we get to 23, and then we could pick up the match again.
Yep. Just we kind of get to the, let's just put 20-20 on the board and then let them go.
There you go.
Seems like when we get to that point, things heat up.
Back to serve now is Brooke Haney. You mentioned earlier she's headed to Kansas State. Play for one of our favorite college coaches.
Absolutely, Susie Fritz.
Always generous with her time and willing to chat about volleyball is Susie Fritz.
Great guy.
It was back to the old Big 12 days, though. We haven't had Susie for a while. One time, I guess, since Nebraska.
Yeah.
And then the spring match, of course, Susie Fritz always willing to bring her team up, and Nebraska played them in the spring. Was that was
We're saying Grand Island?
Grand Island, maybe? Producer Sue Marriott would know that. She's now looking it up on her phone so she can tell us.
Just a little high, just missed timing there.
Yep.
Sila.
So Sue tells us it wasn't Grand Island. And the Huskers won 3-0 over K-State. But Haney going to a terrific program down there in Manhattan. And will enjoy playing for Susie Fritz.
But she's just a junior, so that won't happen.
So 2 more years.
Yes, I was going to say she's got a little time before she has to do it. And I'm sure Skutt wants to hang on to her that whole time.
Well, I think Renee said she's welcome to go next year. I'm pretty sure I heard Renee say that.
I don't think so.
If you want to graduate early and skip your senior season, I'm fine with that.
And really, if you look up and down the roster of Skutt, there are 2 lone seniors on this squad. The rest of them are underclassmen. So this is a very young squad. And I anticipate we're going to continue to see them do some great things in the next few years.
And the kill, deep corner, good shot. And the kill by Russell.
And Gretna really does a great job. They use that pipe come up the middle, and then they're hitting those deep corners, aiming for those corners. That keeps them away from the block, but also is a tough ball for the defense to handle. Kirkpatrick, nice swing on the right side as she comes around.
Back to serve now is Kirkpatrick. So we were tied at 7, we were tied at 8, tied at 9, tied at 10, and now we are tied at 11. Scott thought she got under that one.
Here we get a chance to see. No, we aren't going to see from that angle. I'm like, that pole's right in the line.
12-11 Skutt.
Woodman again, just making smart plays, finding places on the court. She's just, you know, she's very aggressive. That tip, and you know, almost throw the ball, but it's legal. She keeps it in front of her. It's a really fast-paced ball coming at you.
Good swing in the middle and the kill by Lily Haney. Lily Haney, the freshman middle.
Just learning her craft. She's doing a fantastic job.
Timeout called by the Dragons. So Mike Brandon will take a timeout. 11-14. Skutt on top here in set number 3. Skutt won the first two 25-23 and 29-27. And there is a look at the ties and lead changes in the match. Wow.
Yep. 15 ties in set number 2. Wow.
And 8 already here, and we're only at 14-11. So we were almost tied at every point between 0 and 11, right?
Until,
because we haven't been, we weren't, obviously haven't been tied at 12, 13, or 14.
Right.
12 or 13 yet.
But I do think you're right. Straight up.
So back to serve now is Kirkpatrick, McKenna Kirkpatrick, 6'1" junior middle. Good serve by Kirkpatrick. 2 players were on the floor and could not get back up. Set one to the outside. And the kill by Woodman.
And just that advantage of that tough serve, not giving Gretna the opportunity to swing aggressively, just keeping it in play, really led to that aggressive swing by Woodman. 19 kills for her as I look at the stat chart. And then Leapley comes around that backside. Nice shot across to that deep right back corner.
So let's see if Gretna can claw its way back into this here.
Great defensive play.
Set number 3, terrific swing too at the net by Haney. And that time Woodman delivers again.
20 for her count. Look at that swing there, just great up there by Skutt, but that's a young player. It's got a lot of potential to continue to grow and develop.
Angle and the kill by Leapley.
Leapley, that nice sharp cut shot across.
Serve there by Amanda Young on the slide. Haney's swing sent back, go outside. Woodman again not down. A quick recovery there, and Amanda Young sends over the free ball. Run the quick in the middle to Haney again. Concerted effort here in game number 3 to get Haney going.
Little swings like that, you know, even, you know, if she's not getting him down, she's getting the opponents off balance, not getting strong swings back.
Right. So Skutt up by 4 here, 17-13. Need this one. Wow, what a great bump set out to the pin. And an aggressive attack and swing by Brooke Haney.
You think nothing but that from Haney. Again, as you said, out of system, really kind of panicky there in getting that ball. Not Brooke Haney.
And just what a terrific right on the pin set by Allie Shomers. And the ace, and now Skutt's beginning to open it up. 6-point lead, largest of the match for Skutt, and Mike Brandon will take his final timeout early here in set number 3. Important not to let this get away. Match on the line, 19-13, Skutt already up 2-zip. So good decision by Mike Brandon to take the timeout and chat it over. Hey, every Thursday at 7 p.m., want to remind you to catch a new episode of Nebraska's Stories. That's right, it's called Nebraska's Stories. Beginning in January, there are 13 new episodes of NET's popular series, which explores, as Nebraskans, who we are, how we live, and really what it means to be a Nebraskan. Some of the stories coming up in season 7, a visit to the National Science Olympiad on the UNL campus, and a look at a groundbreaking program teaching violin to preschoolers and biking the Mopac Trail for the Nacho Ride. That sounds like an interesting one. Watch Nebraska Stories every Thursday, 7 Central, beginning in January. Terrific series done by the great folks at NET. Want to remind you, if you knew anyone right there acting the fool on the screen, you can buy a DVD of these state high school championships. Just go to our website at netnebraska.org. 19-10 now. Out of the timeout. Gretna gets the point.
Big kill there by Lily Haney. Coming around on that right side. Look at her cut that hard ball back.
And off the block, and another kill.
Mallory Yost. They've really done a nice job trying to get her involved in the offense here, particularly late in the match. Let's see, Yost has 8 kills. You can see the difference. So a little bit long.
Now 2016. Opportunity here for Gretna to continue to cut into that lead. Russell with the serve. Good aggressive swing by Haney, but kept alive. Haney now again finds the floor.
And Haney's in a great matchup here. Unfortunately, Cameron Skutt is only 5'5", and she's working hard to get up there, but that's just too much space to let a big hitter like Brooke Haney, or not a big space to slow her down.
Into the net. So Gretna picks up the point. 21-17 now. Skutt 4 away. They lead it 2-0 here in set number 3 of the Class B championship. Haney again. And Haney just continues to rack up the kills. Haney now at 19. Hitting right around 300. As a team, hitting 307 is Skutt.
And in this set, 424, so this set really been hot.
Of the hand and down.
Dura has come in and made some nice plays here at key points.
Didn't clear the net on the swing of Haney. Still 23-18, Skutt 2 away. And remember, Skyhawks have never won a state championship in volleyball. lot of weapons up there for the Skyhawks. Second last year. Looking to finish it here, and an opportunity right here now. 24-18, match and championship point for the Skutt Catholic Skyhawks. Swing out of the back row, McCardle. Outside, attacked by Woodman, can't get it down. Back to Woodman again, fires away. Woodman got it! And a first ever state championship for Skutt Catholic. Always exciting to be the first team at your school to win a state championship, and that's what these ladies have just done. The Skyhawks, after finishing second last year, are the #1 team in the state. They win the state championship here in Class B with a 3-0 sweep of the Gretna Dragons. So congratulations to the Skyhawks, soaring to new heights. Skutt wins it. We'll have the trophy presentation when we come back.
Everyone's walking a path, and most paths are best walked together. Because when we travel together, our lives are livelier, our journey more enjoyable, and the places we'll discover will be simply spectacular. To be in a place like no other that unites you all in a state of wonder. Wouldn't that be nice?
No matter how you look at it, animal agriculture helps Nebraska's economy. The livestock industry provides increased tax revenues for schools and community services. Livestock enterprises also create jobs while contributing to existing businesses such as local banks and grocery stores. A thriving livestock industry helps maintain our current way of life, but also provides opportunities for the next generation of farm families. The Nebraska Soybean Checkoff helps to raise awareness of the importance of animal agriculture to Nebraska.
When you're looking for Nebraska's stars of tomorrow, start with the young Nebraskans in 4-H and FFA. Over the past 3 years, Constellation has contributed more than $78,000 to 4-H and FFA in the 60 Nebraska counties we serve. Constellation provides natural gas for Nebraska homes, farms, ranches, and businesses. By supporting 4-H and FFA, we're providing energy for Nebraska's stars of tomorrow as well. Natural gas from Constellation.
Head trauma and concussion risk minimization is a priority of the NSAA. When in doubt, sit them out.
Some common symptoms of concussions are dizziness, confusion, and nausea.
The NSAA requires coaches in all sports to take a concussion course annually.
For more information regarding concussion management and return to play protocol, visit our website, nsaahome.org. When in doubt, sit them out.
Coverage of the 2015 NSAA High School Volleyball Championships on NET is made possible in part by the Nebraska Soybean Board, Education Quest, the Nebraska Public Power District, the Nebraska Tourism Commission, the Aurora Cooperative, and by Constellation. A big thank you to all of our sponsors who help us bring you the best high school athletes from across the state. We couldn't do it without your support. We are back at the Bob Devaney Sports Center. Your state champion, Skutt Catholic Skyhawks, about ready to receive trophy and medal presentations, as well as the runner-up trophies and medals. But first, special presentation to some who've had great sportsmanship here at the state championships. And for that, we go down to Steve Lemon.
The Nebraska School Activities Association, the Nebraska Coaches Association, and the Nebraska Athletic Administrators Association are proud to support positive sportsmanship during the state championships and throughout the season. At this time, we are pleased to present the Sportsmanship Awards for classes C2 and B. The trophies are graciously donated by Awards Unlimited. The sportsmanship program's official supporting partner is the Nebraska National Guard. Making the presentation is Major Robert J. Mendez of the Nebraska Army National Guard. The Class C2 Sportsmanship Award winner is Stanton High School. Congratulations, Stanton High School. For Class B, the Sportsmanship Award winner is Northwest High School. Congratulations, Northwest High School. The Nebraska School Activities Association is honored to have medals and trophies for both of these outstanding teams. Presentations will be made by NSAA Executive Director, Dr. Jim Tenneper. NSAA Board of Director members, Nolan Byer from Millard Public Schools, Dr. Troy Unziker from Alliance, and U.S. Bank Representative, Mindy Tuma. Here are the awards for 2015 Class B runner-up, Gretna High School. Will head coach Mike Brendan and your assistants please step toward the middle of the court to present the silver medals. Players, as your name is called, please come forward to receive your medal. Number 1, Bailey Shear. Number 2, Cameron Skutt. Number 3, Kylie Tremmel. Number 4, Hannah Brandon. Number 6, Amanda Young. Number 6, Cameron Schuler. Number 7, Taylor Atkins. Number 8, Mallory Yost. Number 10, Cassidy Ottoman. Number 11, Haley McCardle. Number 12, Jasa Russell. Number 13, Lauren Leapley. Number 14, Jaden Sila. And number 15, Carson Opfer. And now, here is the NSAA 2015 Class B State Volleyball Runner-Up Trophy. Congratulations, Gretna High School. And now, to the champions, Omaha Skutt Catholic High School. First, head coach Renee Saunders, we have a special award for you. Coach, would you and your assistants please present the gold medals to the members of your championship team? Players, as your name is called, please come forward to receive your medal. Number 1, Jessica Schlotman. Number 4, Delaney Saucier. Number 5, Brooklyn Duran. Number 8, Megan Sutera. Number 12, Taylor O'Malley. Number 13, Brooke Haney. Number 14, Lily Haney. Number 15, Alyssa Woodman. Number 17, Nikki White. Number 20, Emma Altman. Number 21, Sydney Arkfeld. Number 23, Allison Schomers. Number 27, McKenna Kirkpatrick. And number 28, Brooke Swain. Presenting the team championship game ball from Farmers Mutual Insurance is Chairman, President, and CEO Tim Walls to head coach Renee Saunders. And now for these outstanding athletes and their school, here is the 2015 NSAA Class B State Volleyball Championship Trophy. Congratulations, Omaha Skutt Catholic High School.
That is an elated bunch right there. Your state champs from Skutt Catholic, the Skyhawks, win it all, finishing the season at 40-2, #1 in the state and the school's first ever state championship. Congratulations to Skutt. What an accomplishment for Renee Saunders and her squad, and they are young, and they will be back. When we come back, we'll hear from the champs right here on NET. Stay with us.
Participating in Nebraska high school activities has taught me about teamwork.
I've learned how to lead among my peers.
At my high school, I have set goals and I work hard to accomplish them.
I like to run on my cross country team. It makes me feel good about myself.
The Nebraska School Activities Association providing opportunities in 25 activities in our 303 high schools. NSAA activities, the other half of education.
Over the years, the Nebraska Chiropractic Physicians Association has supported many Nebraska athletes by helping them excel physically. But the mental game is just as important. That's why we're pleased to sponsor the NSAA Academic All-State Award Program, recognizing students and athletes who shine in the classroom and as leaders. We're proud to team up with these exceptional individuals. Together we can continue to make Nebraska a great place to live, learn, and play.
Head trauma and concussion risk minimization is a priority of the NSAA. When in doubt, sit them out.
Some common symptoms of concussions are dizziness, confusion, and nausea.
The NSAA requires coaches in all sports to take a concussion course annually.
For more information regarding concussion management and return to play protocol, visit our website, nsaahome.org. When in doubt, sit them out.
Welcome back to the Bob Devaney Sports Center. Skutt Catholic wins it over Gretna in 3 straight, 25-18 in the third. The big momentum shift was there in set number 2 when Gretna did not capitalize on 4 set points. Skutt had one, capitalized one at 29-27. And now with the champions, here's Bailey Neal.
Hey guys, I'm here with Brooke Haney. She's from Omaha Skutt Catholic. They just won. Tell me, how does that feel?
It's the most amazing feeling ever to work hard all season and then get what you want out of it.
Definitely. And you guys lost last year. And how does it feel? Is this a redemption for you guys?
Yes, most definitely. It's a redemption. We have worked hard all year, and our theme for this year was unfinished business, and we definitely completed that today.
Definitely. Was there anything that your coach said or your teammate said going into that last set? I know you guys swept them, but it was close matches, so let me know how that felt.
Well, we were down a couple times in the match, but we always said just push harder, just push 1 point at a time, 1 point at a time, and we did that, and we fought back. So.
Awesome. Well, congratulations. And now we'll bring up your teammate, Alyssa Woodman. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And you, as a senior, one of only 2 seniors on the team, how does this feel for you?
It's amazing. Like Brooke said, our motto this whole year was unfinished business, and we left the Devaney last year wanting that state championship, and we worked hard for it this year. So
You definitely worked hard. You had 21 kills and 18 digs, so pretty impressive stats on the day. And what was your, did you say anything to the team as one of the only seniors before that last set?
I think that we talked about being really disciplined that last set because it was something that we kind of struggled with a little bit, but we definitely worked hard that last set and pulled through. So.
And it showed. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, now Miss Head Coach Renee Saunders, you can come on up. Finally get to touch it. Yes, everyone said that was the theme, finally. Tell me, what does this mean for you as a head coach, having been back here last year and finally coming through with it this year?
Oh, it's been the school goal since I got there. I mean, it was like, that was what they always wanted. There's no banner, and every day at practice, they'd look up and not see it, or we'd be at mass and they'd look up and not see it, so it was like constant motivation for them.
Definitely, and we saw the tide shift a little bit during that match. What did you tell the team, before that last set going in there?
To breathe, relax. I mean, we get a little tight and then we make some errors, and honestly, I think that once we took care of our unforced errors, everything went our way, so it was fun.
Awesome. And what are you going to say to them now that they won, now that they're champs? Time to breathe?
I'm going to try to hold it together, first of all, and then, I'm proud of them. They did a good job.
Well, you're doing a great job. No one's cried, so that's good. Just happy tears.
They're good kids.
Well, congratulations to Omaha Skutt Catholic, your B-class division champs. Great job, guys.
Thank you.
All right, thanks very much, Bailey. State champs, Skutt Catholic winning it. Renee Saunders playing that video, before tonight. Phil Collins.
Feel it.
What, say that again, Kathy? You were about to sing.
No.
Okay.
Nope. That's it. That's all you got.
Skutt Catholic wins the Class B state championship. When we come back, we'll move to Class A. One match left for a state title. It's Marion taking on North Platte for the Class A title. We'll have it when we come back on NET Sports.